Hey guys, and welcome to a brand new video here on FPL Now. Today we're going to be going over my transfer plans for Game Week 12 and also how I got on in Game Week 11. So if you're excited for the video, make sure to drop a like down below. Leave a comment, what are your plans during the international break for the next game week. Subscribe if you're brand new, and let's get into the video. So, starting things off, how did I get on in Game Week 11? It was another green arrow. We went from like 498,000 to 402,000 in the world. Finished on 64 points, a Game Week rank of 1.6 mil. Yeah, not too shabby. I mean, obviously, could have been a lot better in terms of a lot of my decent players not performing, like Palmer and Haaland and stuff like that. But it's another green arrow, so I really cannot complain. Raya picking up 2 points. Again, wasn't really expecting much from that fixture, which is why I only played one Chelsea sort of defender that week, because I also had Palmer, and obviously if Palmer does well, then that means that Arsenal defense isn't going to do well, and vice versa. If like they keep a clean sheet, means Palmer's not going to do well. Obviously I have to play Raya, though I can't play Ward because he's not a playing goalkeeper. So yeah, finished on 2 points from Raya. Nothing crazy there. Obviously the good fixtures are now about to start for Arsenal, so I'm hoping after holding these defensive assets from Arsenal for all this time, they will start rewarding me. But yeah, Raya with 2 points. The budget defenders though really helping the game week though, with Nori picking up 6 and Mykolenko picking up 6 as well. Really happy about that. Milenkovic with the 1 pointer, not ideal as a Forest fan. We just did not play very well. We played really well in the first half when we went 1-0 up, and then we just kind of like took our foot off the gas and really just really fell off, really. And yeah, it was a bit unfortunate that only 1 point from Milenkovic there, which is a little bit of a shame. But yeah, I mean, Mykolenko and Nori, 6 points each, really cannot complain, especially with all the other good defenders as well not doing so well this week. Obviously the Arsenal defense didn't do great, Liverpool defense did great, but obviously Trent came off with that injury. Really unfortunate for owners there, because he potentially could have got a big haul in that game. He probably would have got some bonus points as well. So yeah, really unfortunate. Looking at the scans and stuff though, apparently it might not be as bad because they took him off early enough. He's probably not going to be in the England camp. He's probably going to withdraw from there. I don't know if that's already been announced by the time this video is going up. But yeah, we'll have to wait and see, because Trent was part of my transfer plans, but now I'm obviously holding off a little bit until we know more information. So yeah, that was the defense. In midfield, we had Mbeumo picking up 5 points, Palmer picking up 2 points, Mohamed Salah, inevitable, absolute warrior, 14 points, obviously 28 from the captaincy. Yeah, dude, the swing from Salah and Haaland is absolutely ridiculous. Like, if you kept Haaland and didn't go Salah, you would have took a massive hit over these last couple of games. Like, honestly, it's been crazy how good Salah's been. Like, he's just getting double-digit hauls for no reason. I mean, the goals were very lucky as well. Like, the assist was lucky because obviously it just, like, he got took out, which potentially could have been a red card, but then the defender also went down as well, so the ball just kindly fell to Nunes, and it was a good finish, to be fair. And then obviously the second goal was just like the ball just bounced. It was a good finish at the end of the day, but it just bounced perfectly for him as well. So these things happen. He got returns earlier on in the season as well, where he got like a penalty and he got like a lucky assist as well, and finished on like 28 points again. It's just what happens. Like, he still has to finish the chances and stuff, but at the end of the day, they were, I feel, not hard done by if I didn't have Salah, but I was like, it's just how it goes, really. But yeah, either way, I'll gladly take the 14 points from him. Semenyo picking up 2 points as well. He was my transfer in for McNeil this week. McNeil, of course, did not play, but Semenyo didn't pick up anything either, which was a little bit unfortunate. In a game that was 3-2, I definitely would have expected Mbeumo and Semenyo to pick up some more points. Semenyo did have a really good chance in the first half, but it was a good save from Flecken. But I'm still fine with having Semenyo, though. I think he's going to be a pretty decent pick going forward. So that was the midfield. And then up top, we had Strand Larsen picking up 2 points. Obviously, Kuno was the option this week. A massive, like, 13-pointer from him. Strand Larsen only getting 2. Not ideal, but at the end of the day, it's what happens. Obviously, Strand Larsen outscored Kuno last week. So, you know, they're just taking it in turn. So hopefully Strand Larsen can do something next week. Raul Jimenez picking up 5 points. And then also Haaland picking up 5 points as well. Haaland was on an 8-pointer, but got a stupid yellow card in the last minute, which actually knocked him from 8 points down to 5. Because obviously he lost the bonus. So that was really annoying as well. But yeah, all in all, I mean, a few 5-pointers. And Salah really saving the game week. And the budget defenders continuously helping me out. Like, honestly, I don't understand the defense this season, man. Like, really good options just aren't performing, and then these budget enablers are just doing solid work. So really, really happy with that. The bench, like I said, didn't really do anything wrong this week. I mean, I probably should have played Gabriel over Milenkovic, and I would have had an extra point, but obviously Rodgers only picked up a point, and then obviously, yeah, Gabriel picking up 2 points. Greaves on 0, and then Ward on 0 as well. So all in all, happy with the game week. I always like going into the international break with a green arrow. We're into the top, very, very close to top 400k now. We're just out of it, 402k in the world, but we do have 2 free transfers in the bank. Always like going into the international break with 2 frees. It's just a little bit safer, especially when injuries can happen and stuff like that. But yeah, either way, that's how we got on in game week 11. Let's move on to game week 12 though and see what the situation is. So we have 0.2 mil in the bank, because obviously I earned 0.1 from that McNeil to Semenyo transfer there. So I do now have enough to go to a 4.5 mil defender from Mykolenko. I could also use that money, I guess, elsewhere. Maybe if I wanted to go for like a João Pedro or something like that. In fact, I actually would make money if I went to João Pedro from Raul Jimenez or Strand Larsen. But anyway, originally the idea was to go from Haaland to, well, I was absolutely set. And after the City game, I was absolutely set on this transfer. I was like, I'm definitely doing this because Haaland's off it, City's off it. He's wasting so many chances, and like, even though Villa haven't been great, and obviously Watkins' returns haven't been ideal, like he hasn't got anything since the Fulham game. With the fixtures they've got coming up, I was like, that is something I want to target. But then he got hooked on the 60th minute. He came off on 64 against Liverpool for John Duran, and it's usually Rodgers that gets hooked early. So that really, really kind of put a spanner in the works, because if you look at the fixtures, they've got Palace, Brentford, Southampton and Forest in the next 5, which are all really, really nice fixtures. Fair play, they've then got City and Newcastle, but at the moment, I honestly don't think City is really that tough as a fixture for these teams as they once were, because of obviously how bad they've been. But for these fixtures here, I just felt like that would be really, really ideal for having Watkins for. But when he got hit with that 64-minute sub, it was just a little bit unfortunate, because I was going to do that, and then I was going to do Mykolenko to Trent, and obviously he's injured. So that completely has gone wrong. And I was potentially going to do that last week as well, so I'm very happy I didn't. I was going to do it for a hit. Because the thing is, if Trent's not back for Southampton, I'm not going to go anywhere near him, because then after that he's got City and Newcastle. After that, like Everton, Fulham, all about bringing him in. But if he misses that Southampton fixture, which, again, I think it's going to be one of those where he's still going to be flagged after the international break. And I think it's just going to be one of those, if you have him, you play him. If you don't have him, you don't buy him. So yeah, it's a little bit of a tough one, really. Again, really, really unfortunate for owners, because that fixture you kept him for is the Southampton one. And they did keep a clean sheet against Villa, so would have got some points there. And obviously, yeah, the Southampton fixture, missing that would be really, really hard done. You'd be really, really hard done by. So that is that was the transfer that I was going to make. But now I feel like that's a little bit up in the air. So honestly, no idea what to do. Like, I need to get rid of Mykolenko because they've got Brentford at home, who have obviously got Mbeumo playing. Then they've got United away, which isn't ideal. And then they've got Wolves at home. And obviously, I've got Strand Larsen for that. So I've got 2 attackers playing Everton in the next 3 fixtures. And I don't really want him for Man United away. So Mykolenko is a player that I'm pretty much set on getting rid of. And I honestly might go to Konza. Like, I know that Villa haven't been great, but with the fixtures they've got coming up, I don't mind having an offensive asset from Villa. And he's actually just gone down in price as well to 4.4. So I actually don't lose all my budget on him. And I have a much better defender for those fixtures. Because next week's a bit of a tough one, because I've got Gabriel, who's got Forest, which is fine. I've got, if I bring in Konza, then he's great for Palace at home. Then I've got Nori, who's also playing Fulham away, who I've got Raul Jimenez for. And then I've got Milenkovic, who's playing Arsenal away. So obviously I'd play Gabriel and Konza, but I'd have to play one of Nori or Milenkovic. I don't have any Arsenal attackers, so Milenkovic could be the option. But at the same time, that's just not a great fixture to play him in. So I either just use both my transfers on like budget defenders and then bring in like Mazarawi or someone like that. But I don't want to get rid of Nori, and I don't really want to get rid of Milenkovic just before Ipswich at home. So it's a really, really tough one. This is why I wanted to bring Trent in. I would have still had to play like Milenkovic or Nori, but it would have just been nice to have Trent for Southampton. And I don't really want Haaland anymore. Like, I've got so much money kind of stored up in him that I just don't really want to be bringing him in. And like Saka is another player that I'm kind of needing as well, and I don't really know who to get rid of for that, because I've just brought Semenyo and I don't need to get rid of Semenyo. But maybe when Mbumo's fixtures get a little bit worse, maybe that's when I take a look at bringing in Saka and just keeping Semenyo and Rodgers. So like I'd obviously have Mbumo for Everton and Leicester, and then when he plays Villa away, that's when I take a look at bringing in maybe like Saka, and also still getting rid of Haaland then. So yeah, I mean, there's other strikers that I also really want to bring in as well. Like Brighton defense is another team that I really want to target. Let's just, I don't know, think of Dunk, for example, who again is a little bit injured at the moment, but if he's back after the international break, you know, they've got Bournemouth away, who I obviously don't really want him for, but then Southampton at home, Fulham. Even from a defensive standpoint, an attacker would be really great to bring in. Like João Pedro would be ideal. Like I could even get rid of Raul Jimenez this week, and if I did that, then I could play Nori, because obviously I've got no attacker in that week. So if I get rid of Raul Jimenez, I'd love if Welbeck was 5.8, because I'd just be able to do that. And I'd absolutely love that as well, because Welbeck would just be such a solid asset to have for that fixture run, because even though it's not João Pedro and he's not going to be on penalties and stuff, like João Pedro's minutes I think are going to be managed a little bit. I think João Pedro is going to be rotated with Rutter a little bit, and then obviously Welbeck will be the main kind of sort of striker, but I'm 0.1 off that, which is really, really annoying, because I could have really done with that. And I just don't know how to make that extra 0.1, because I don't think there's a 4 point. Obviously I can do that if I keep Mikolenko, but at the same time, is it really worth it? Like, I could always just downgrade Milenkovic and just keep Mikolenko, but I don't want Mikolenko, because I'm not going to be playing him in any of these fixtures. So yeah, it's a shame there isn't another 4.3 mil defender that I can really bring in, because I think Jimenez to Welbeck would be a really nice move as well, especially just before, you know, Southampton at home would be absolutely ideal. So I don't know, we'll have to take a look at it, but yeah, my original transfer plan's just kind of gone out the window. And like I said, I'd really like Konza in the team, but I mean, I could always just get rid of Gabriel, but I've held him for this long, I may as well just keep him and see if I can reap the rewards of double Arsenal defense. But yeah, either way, that's sort of the transfer kind of tinkering. Like, I'm going to see how I can sort of put Welbeck in the team potentially. If not, I don't know. We'll see what happens with Trent. Like, if Trent's absolutely fine, then maybe I revisit the Watkins thing. It's just that early sub is really unfortunate. Like, both Watkins and Rodgers are kind of early sub potentials, and it's just, I don't know if I really want to be dealing with that heartbreak every single week. So I think Welbeck is just a much better option with what they've got coming up. I can always just downgrade Haaland to Welbeck and just go with 3 really cheap attackers. So let's say I keep Raul Jimenez, I go from Haaland to Welbeck, which again, I'd have so much money in the bank. I'd have 9.4 mil in the bank, which just seems wrong. Like, obviously that would allow me to go to Saka from anybody really, but I don't really want to get rid of Rodgers before Palace. I don't want to get rid of Semenyo and then Mbumo as well. So like, who am I bringing in for Saka? And that's another thing that I'm gonna have to be dealing with. Like, maybe I just get rid of Rodgers, but he's such a good budget enabler. I don't really want to do that. So yeah, I'm all over the place really. I need to sort the defense out really, because Mikolenko's an issue. Like, I've got so many attackers playing defenders in the next couple of weeks that I need to sort that out. But either way, we'll take a look. Obviously, we've got international break. There could be other injuries. Someone else could go down with an injury, and then I'll have to sort that out. But either way, if you guys enjoyed the video, drop a like down below. Leave a comment. What are your plans for the next game week? Subscribe if you're brand new. And until next time, peace.